Before the brothers Strauss came onto the scene, writer Shane Salerno was working on AVP2. Salerno wrote 1998's Armageddon and had been a co-writer on 2004's Alien vs. Predator. At first, he had an early pitch about a Predator ship that crashed in Afghanistan, and an American Special Forces team is sent to deal with the situation, but Fox didn't want that. So Salerno eventually came up with the version very close to what we got. The title for the film was important, and the studio was concerned over the harsh backlash fans had with Alien vs. Predator's PG-13 rating. So for the sequel, they wanted it to be extreme. At first, the film was called Aliens vs. Predator 2, Survival of the Fittest, but then the title was altered to Requiem, which would suggest adult themes and lots of death. The script was dated December 15th, 2005. To start out, the script had a quote from Herbert Spencer about survival of the fittest, and then it would begin with Scar birthing the Predalien. The creature would then grow to 9 feet, and a fight ensued until the Predalien would slam an arm of a predator against a bulkhead, causing a shoulder cannon to misfire accidentally, blowing a hole in the ship. A predator would be sucked out to space, and then a final predator would shoot a basketball-sized hole in the Predalien, killing it before the ship crashes to the ground on Earth. While still in cloak mode. This meant that no agency on Earth knew about the crash except those close by, who would hear or see it. In a lab with many specimens at the bottom of the Predator ship, a lone wounded Predator sends out a distress call before an alien that was freed from stasis kills the last survivor before escaping the ship. Outside, in a forest, a rifle fires as a man named Buddy Benson and his son, Sam, hunt a deer. Sam is running and trips over the invisible ship. They are stunned when they realize they found some sort of invisible thing. Not far off, the alien that escaped watches them. We then cut to a Greyhound bus station where Sheriff Eddie Morales tells his deputy Joe to clear out the homeless from the tunnel under Houston Street. It is then that career thief Dallas Howard comes off the bus and Morales drives him home. A lot of dialogue in the car is the same. Then we cut to Ricky Howard, who is a Domino's pizza delivery driver. Ricky complains about wearing the hat, but in this script, the manager is encouraging and supportive of the boy. He tells him to focus because he thinks he can someday be his assistant manager. And in this town, the options are factories or retail. Why not grow into a bigger position and sell pizza, as it's better than some of the other options? We then meet 6-year-old Molly at an airport with her father, as her mother Kelly returns home from the Middle East. In this, Molly is not standoffish to her mother, and when she asks if her mother got her a gift, she gives the little girl a Barbie, to which she says, "Mom, Barbie is a shameless attempt by a toy conglomerate to exploit the TV-fueled dreams of preteen girls." Obviously, Molly is a different character in this script, and she's depicted as very intelligent. The mother then gives her daughter one of her issued military gear items to compensate, night vision goggles. What's really stupid about this is that a pair of these goggles would have cost at minimum $3,500 to $40,000, depending on which type was given. So no experienced or aware soldier would give anyone this equipment, as they would be fiscally responsible for it within their unit. I'm only mentioning this now because when I get to the movie, there's enough to cover. So why not get it out of the way now? Back at the forest, the alien appears as Buddy tells his son they're leaving. However, the alien is not alone. 2 facehuggers are with it, and they jump on the 2 hunters. Ricky then delivers the pizza to Jesse's house, where he is treated just like the film. His keys get thrown down the sewer. Ricky returns home to find Dallas there. It is revealed that their father is working on a rig somewhere and sends the expense money to Ricky so bills can be kept up while their mother is simply gone. And yet, he is still going in the window. Anyways, Dallas says he's going to help pay the bills, but Ricky states he doesn't need a big brother. We then head back to Kelly, her husband and Molly are at Dairy Queen. Kelly tries to order for her daughter and discovers that she likes different things when the waitress informs her of her different tastes. Her husband states that they eat here a lot, and she asks why he doesn't cook more. "Because I work. I'd ask my wife to do it, but she was in Iraq, flying helicopters and saving the world." Kelly then accuses Tim of having an affair, but he says nothing is going on. He then asks her what it was like being deployed, and she said she saw things, and leaves it at that. She then walks away to play an arcade game with her daughter. The two brothers go in the sewer to find Ricky's keys before Eddie Morales arrives at the home of hunters Buddy and Sam to report something is amiss to mother and wife Darcy. Back in the sewer, the two brothers hear hissing. Dallas teases Ricky, stating it's an alligator, and they reminisce about how they watched the movie Alligator when they were young and how it scared Ricky before they find their keys and get out of the sewer just in time to discover a town meeting is going on. At the meeting, Morales tells everyone they need to start searching for Buddy and his son Sam. There is evidence to suggest foul play. Some people state rumors that a hand was found, and some suggest that Dallas should be the first suspect. Morales states that's impossible because Dallas was with him when they went missing. Then the town folks suggest that the homeless people might have a cult and maybe they should bring in the FBI. Morales says they will search in the morning because there are drop-offs, animal traps, and some areas might be crime scenes and don't need to be trampled on during the night. It would be safer and more thorough if they all waited till the morning. No one seems happy with the suggestion. In the sewers, Buddy and his son have been moved by the aliens and cocooned. Buddy wakes up to his son complaining of pain. Buddy feels something is moving inside him, and the camera cuts to his insides, where an alien is moving up his intestines before it breaks out of him. The newborn creature looks around, stopping to gaze at Sam before darting away. Later that night, at Kelly's home, divorce is discussed after Molly is put to bed. The next morning, people are in the woods searching, and 12 hours later, it's beginning to turn dark. What the searchers don't realize is that a predator who responded to the distress call is watching them. Later, exhausted, and now, after nightfall, the search ends. Buddy's wife asks if her family is dead, and Morales says he doesn't know, but they will continue tomorrow. In the distance, as they retreat from their search, the predator mimics a name attracting a police officer who heard the noise. With a flashlight in hand, as everyone is going out of sight, the man looks towards where the predator was to find nothing. But then something is upon him, and he reaches for his gun, but he is killed by the predator before he draws it. Then we cut to the second morning. A waitress at a Waffle House calls Ray, leaving a message on his phone. In the woods, the phone rings not far from his bloody body. She then gets back to work in the restaurant. Dallas and Morales are there, and the waitress pours a cup of coffee, asking how the job hunt is going for Dallas, and he says he's not qualified for much except being a thief. She says nonchalantly that the bank is hiring, and they erupt in laughter. When she leaves, Morales says to go to John McTiernan over at the mill, and he will hire him. Morales will talk to him. Dallas is grateful. The waitress asks where her boyfriend Ray is, who she just left a message for, and Morales is shocked, asking if he came home. She says he didn't, and that he always calls. In the woods, the predator finds the crashed ship and causes it to self-destruct. After the destruction, the predator continues, thinking it now has just one alien to kill, and then it's finished the job covering the evidence caused by the predator crash. Then we are in school, where the class is learning survival of the fittest. As the teacher talks, there is a cut to the predator entering the sewers, while the teacher is still talking about the subject. And then we return to the classroom, where Ricky is being teased for being a pizza boy. Ricky physically defends himself to his bullies, but then he is sent to the office for disrupting class. With search parties continuing in the woods, they find Ray's headless corpse before we end up in the principal's office, where Ricky is suspended for a week for hitting bullies. Dallas is there and tells Ricky he is ruining his life, and he's grounded, to which Ricky tells him to F off. Then after a long drive home, Ricky asks his brother, "How come you never told him it was me? I didn't ask you to do 3 years in prison for me. This reveals that Dallas went to jail, covering up for his brother's crime, whatever it was. And in the end, all Dallas can say is, life basically sucks. Yeah, we could have used this in the film to create some unique characters, but we wouldn't want to do that in the end, thank you 20th Century Fox. At the morgue, more shock value is given when Dr. Lennon says Ray, the police officer, had defensive wounds on his arms, and his vocal folds were bleeding up until death. Then we cut to a scene where Dale and his friends are playing stickball in the street, and one of them accidentally hits a ball into a sewer grate. Dale sees Molly and asks her to reach in the grate to grab the ball because of her small hands. She does so, while an alien below notices her doing this. She grabs the ball and the boy thanks her. She then goes back to playing in her yard. Then Jessie offers to go swimming with Ricky. In this version, Ricky doesn't trust her and thinks that it's a setup for her boyfriend to corner him and beat his face in. So she tells him that Dale is going hunting with his father, and we can watch him leave around 6 if he wants to. Then we are in the sewers where the homeless folks are face-hugged. Back at Kelly's house, Molly is arguing that she doesn't want Daddy to go away, and Kelly tries to explain divorce while the aliens reach the power plant and the Predator hunts them. Then at Ricky's house, Dallas asks if he's sure he wants to risk going to meet this Jessie girl, as it might be a trap, but Ricky is not thinking with the right head. At the school pool, Jessie and Ricky go in by a window, and Jessie strips, tempting Ricky when Dale and his loser friend show up. Jessie looks at Ricky apologetically, and this exchange occurs. I'm sorry, Ricky. He made bullshit. She volunteered. A fight ensues, but then the power goes out thanks to the aliens and the Predator at the plant. And then another alien arrives at the pool, and events unfold mostly like the finished film. In the end, only Jessie and Ricky escape. Now, I want to state the characterization of the humans in this script is trying, and it's much better than the film. More so, the logic of the gestation of the aliens is respected for the first time in a long time. This script took several days before aliens were everywhere, and it took time to build up certain things. However, the best parts of the script are about to be passed as things go crazy. So now we go back to Molly's room, where she screams about seeing a monster with the expensive night vision goggles. She yells for her father, and unlike the film, the alien crashes through the ceiling and tries to kill the little girl. But her father, Tim, is faster than the alien. Let me say that again. Tim, Molly, and Kelly are fast enough to run out of the house without the alien getting them. A neighbor yells at Tim and his wife as they run past him, and the alien grabs the neighbor while they flee. Ricky and Jessie run out of the school and find the firefighters and sheriff at the power plant to tell them what happened. The sheriff and deputy run to the school where the Predator is killing aliens. Predator roars, and the sheriff, deputy, Dallas, Ricky, and Jessie stop in their tracks as they hear it just outside the school. When the sheriff enters, they see the Predator killing an alien, and they begin firing their guns. The Predator bleeds and escapes, but throws its spear at Deputy Joe, killing him against a wall. Dallas states he can help, and Morales gives Dallas the deputy's gun, and that's when Dallas says, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." I'm serious, the script says this. We are then back in the sewers, where there are more homeless folks who haven't met aliens somehow. One of their friends enters their area in pain. As a chest burster exits him, the creature then begins spitting at everyone around it to defend itself. Then Tim, Kelly, and Molly meet the jerk with the gun, who asks them if they saw the creature. The cemetery is on a hill, and below they can see lines of cars and people running in different directions, panicking, as there is some commotion down there. A gunshot can be heard in the distance, while the man with the gun lights a cigarette watching. The sheriff finds a phone, calls dispatch to connect him with Homeland Security Coordinator right now. Ricky asks Jessie if she's okay, and she apologizes profusely, as if it's supposed to make us like this terrible character. Also with them is Buddy and Sam's wife, Darcy. She asks Dallas if those things killed her family, and he suggests maybe they are still alive somewhere, but everyone knows that's not true. Morales then tells them the National Guard will be there in an hour, and Darcy says that she wants a gun to avenge her family. They all think it's a good idea, and they leave. Back at the cemetery, the predator fixes its wounds. It yells, and the family ducks, while the jerk with the gun refuses, saying he won't die hiding like an idiot. Then he is killed by the predator like the movie, and Tim picks up the gun. Now, stupidly, the predator is compelled to chase after this man that never fired a shot at it, even though the predator's main targets are multiplying aliens that are getting out of control. The sheriff and his team arrive at Kmart to stock up on guns and use road flares for lights. Meanwhile, Kelly, Molly, and her armed husband are at a bus station, and the predator shoots a bus on a crane, hoping to squash the most threatening 3 humans, which have a single unused pistol. A very choice target indeed compared to the aliens. The predator fires a lot, but it's lucky for the family he's not a good shot, and they run into the Kmart with the predator chasing them. 2 employees come up on the group getting guns, and the sheriff tells them what they're going to do, but then an alien grabs him from above and begins ripping him apart. The predator, knowing an alien is in the store, now ignores the family suddenly and runs to kill the creature. While the sheriff is dying, Dallas takes command, telling everyone it's time to go. Then the alien goes after Jessie, and like the dumb character she is, she drops her gun in fear when she sees the creature, showing that she has no self-preservation either. Then the predator comes to save the day. Who cares about the fight details? It just happens while Dallas leads everyone away. Then the family finds Dallas and his team in the store, and an alien grabs Molly and takes her up into the girders. Darcy thinks of her son Sam, who was alien fodder, and fires a shotgun at the alien who took Molly. The shotgun, which spreads pellets in a wide pattern when fired, doesn't hit Molly at all, but it conveniently blows off an alien claw that was holding her perfectly, and she falls into a soft Christmas display. The alien acid falls right on one of the Kmart employees, who melts before everyone. I'm sure he thanked Darcy as it was happening. Then the humans have a shootout while aliens are approaching them. The predator is also fighting aliens, and the other unimportant Kmart employee dies. When it's all over, the predator stands in front of the humans. They all have their weapons raised, but now the predator walks out. Satisfied he got his blue light special, and is off to find other deals in the city. The humans stand perplexed as to why they are in this script, and then they leave the ruined Kmart. More aliens crawl up from the sewer below, and gunshots and screams are heard in the distance outside the Kmart. Dallas finds a radio, and the voice on the other end tells him to head to the center of town. They start to head there and notice a slaughtered diner and manhole covers from the sewers open everywhere. Dallas takes a flare, throws it in the sewer, and they can see a bunch of dead homeless people chest-bursted below. Then they continue on. While they do so, a dog comes up to the group, and Molly hugs it when an alien splats outside of it. Then Kelly shoots the baby alien and says, "Get away from my daughter." What were you expecting? 2 last words? Then the group head away, all smiles that the little girl is safe, and another alien is dead. I am trying to take this script seriously, but then this happens. A truck, blasting music, rides down the street, and our heroes stand in the middle of the road screaming, hoping their voices are louder than the music in the car that's heading straight for them. Inside the flatbed truck are 3 people screaming, because in the bed of the truck is an alien scratching on the roof, but it can't get inside the truck. And there is a window at the back of the pickup, and the alien must not notice this. Yes, you heard me right. These aliens that can pound through 5-inch thick metal doors in Aliens can't get through the thin roof of a truck or its window, which aliens did in Aliens, which was a military window, I might add, Alien 3, and so on. So in frustration, the alien is clawing itself to cause its acid to get into the roof. Then the driver slams on the brakes and the alien flies. The humans shoot this clearly weak and pathetic alien who could not do what any of its kind could do in any alien movie before. Then Ricky says, "That wasn't so hard." You know what, Ricky? You are so right. I love reading this script. My brain cells are running out of my ear in horror, so I guess my brain is making the horror for this script. The driver says, "I have no guns." And Dallas says they have no truck. And now their team gets bigger. And they drive off to the center of town where they pick up the Domino's pizza manager who talked to Ricky earlier. After a bit, Dallas taps the window that the alien didn't go through earlier and tells the driver to stop and says they should not go to the center of town because the government is lying. They are not going to help them at all. So they decide to go for the airport instead of where the military told them to go. They look for a helicopter in airport hangars, but then aliens attack all around them. Darcy is killed, then the Domino's manager is killed. But then the Predator saves Kelly because she's a main character. Of course, no number of aliens can overtake this Predator, and Kelly and Molly run to the next hangar to find a Bell 212 helicopter. They yell, "It's here," but no aliens take notice of these easy targets, as they only focus on the humans firing at them and the Predator that's killing them. Despite this, Dallas and Tim notice Kelly and her daughter entering the helicopter. Then the Predator is bested, and aliens converge on him, ripping him apart. The script says, in underlined finality, "If the Predators won Antarctica, the aliens have won Texas." Continuing this fracas, an alien jumps at the helicopter from a roof, and it's cut in half by the helicopter rotor blades that are spinning fast. Thank God the alien didn't have any acid blood, and Molly asks, "What was that?" Her mother sees the dead alien on the ground and says, "That's dead." And the hits keep coming when Jesse is killed by a leaping alien and everyone celebrated. Ricky whines over this terrible human being as the folks with guns fall back to the chopper. Then Dallas says, "Go! Get to the chopper!" No, he really doesn't say that. What he says is, "We gotta get to the weapon." And he's referring to the Predator weapon. They fight their way to the Predator body part with the shoulder cannon, and then they fire the weapon. And the script writes this like it's some kind of awesome moment that we haven't seen before. You remember, Harrigan never had an alien weapon, by the way. Wow, what a stellar moment. The script describes a swarm of aliens against a few people with guns and a Predator weapon. And the alien swarm freezes, somewhat afraid of the Predator gun, rather than using their numbers to overrun these few people. In this script, it doesn't say the shoulder cannon needs to charge at all. Dallas lays down cover fire for the survivors, stating it's the last gun firing. What's great about all this is that no alien has bothered the ready helicopter or anyone in it. In fact, everyone gets to the chopper with ease. Do you see what I did there? In the end, Dallas and Ricky keep the aliens at bay. Another laughable moment in this script is when an idiot enters the helicopter and says this: "Should we be flying in this weather?" It would have been great if someone threw this character out of the chopper while saying, "No, leave and die," and then fly away. But that didn't happen. Instead, they look at her like she said something funny, while aliens are swarming all around their friends. How funny. Anyways, the helicopter then takes off, and Dallas, being the hero that he is, jumps up and hangs on the landing gear skit like Rambo. The aliens are just too slow to get him, I guess. Then, the people inside the chopper pull him up. They close the door as a jet flies by them and drops something. The idiot that should have been thrown out of the chopper then says, "It's the army, they're here to help." Then little Molly watches as a nuke hits the ground and the entire screen turns white, killing them all. Well, at least no one survived this one. That's gratifying. No sequel possibilities here, thank God. Fox's main goal was to have a lot of violence and to assure the world that it was going to be an R-rated fest, first and foremost. And it was planned that this point would be on all promotional materials and scripted interviews until the release of the unrated DVD later. Even 20th Century Fox bigwig Tom Rothman announced in an interview to back it up. This is going to be an R-rated hardcore horror movie. I think that's really going to set it apart from the first one. This approach was the key death of the film before it even began production. Fan service and gore was the priority, and everything else was secondary. Fox liked the script Salerno wrote and considered this the script the studio wanted to do, and without space, it was envisioned to be very cheap to produce. And while the bean counters thought of more ways to cut the budget on the script to maximize profits, the studio now needed to cast a director who would be cheap to make exactly what Fox wanted. And in our next video, we will cover the hiring of these directors and the rest of the making of this film. Honestly, I think it would be nice if these two races just got along. It'd be simpler for this film and the script. We'll see you next week. If you like what you see here, click like and subscribe. Super thanks helps, and so does sharing. Thanks for being here.